And if you love it and you have not been to the Wagon Wheel, you should go to the Wagon Wheel because they've got a lot more great stuff.
Great prime rib.
Family-owned business.
Thank you.
I love the Monday special.
The fajitas?
No, the prime rib grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, the grinders we do
Oh,
lunch?
good Lord.
That sounds really good. Prime rib.
So get to know the Wagon Wheel. They are a family-owned business for 3 generations and do a great job connecting with the community here and probably would connect with any other community they were involved with. So if we can just take a minute and go around the room, starting with this gentleman here, kind of tell who you are.
You waited till I put.
I did. Just let us know who you are and what you're here for, what business you're associated with, and what you're here for, hoping to learn today.
Jim Sikarsky. I'm a veterinarian working at vet school at Michigan State. My wife Judy's a veterinarian. We both. She's retired and I'm retiring, and we planted a bunch of lavender, and I thought it paired nicely with lace, and we have a business called Lavender and Lace. Judy makes the lace, I take care of the lavender. And she sells.
Awesome.
Although I do cooking spices and stuff.
Ooh, cool.
With have lavender in there.
Very neat.
And ratatouille is the signature recipe from the south of France. I make it.
Have you thought about selling spice mixes or blends?
I do, and I mix them.
Do you do fresh stuff?
Well, most of it's dry herbs. You know, it's like
Right.
Italian seasoning, basically,
Right.
only with lavender added to it and
Okay.
other things.
Cool.
Basically.
But we have boatloads of basil and such.
The local
Summer,
restaurant wanted to
if
purchase fresh herbs.
you need something.
We do a lot of fresh herbs.
Really?
A
Oh,
lot
okay.
of oregano, basil, rosemary,
Oh, yeah.
thyme.
Good to know because
Basil.
we're putting in a greenhouse this summer.
Okay.
So yeah, we probably have way too much than we need.
Come out and see us.
Sure.
We
Cool.
go there all the time.
Right.
In fact, our wedding reception was in the back.
I thought so. I thought so.
We were just there, what, 2 weeks ago with Mary Kay and her husband Tom.
Somehow got the last 4 slabs
A prime rib? Good.
And that's the special treatment that you
Saturday.
get in a small community.
Absolutely.
So cool.
Yes.
Yeah, come and
So-
look us up.
Yeah, Michelle.
Yell at me.
I'm Judy Sikarsky. I'm his better half.
Best.
The
Aw.
Lavender Lace thing is like a retirement, needs something to do, and also it's enjoyable to make a contribution. We started at right down at the Red Mill for the farmers market, and I just love the people. They're just fun people. The people that sell there. It's just a good crew. Then we expanded. I designed and made baptismal gowns and first communion dresses for my daughters and godchildren. So that's what we're doing right now, is kind of expanding more that way. That would be the lace part. We've got a group in the Los Angeles Garment District, fair trade group, lovely people. They're Hispanic, and then when we need a rush order, we send them French pastries. Because French is our branding.
Oh, because they're French themed to
Yeah,
our business.
yeah. At first, the woman that runs it says, everyone says, what? And they're like. So having a lot of fun with it, and my good friend Mary Kay, I've known for 30 years. We're in the same Mother's Prayer group way back in the day when our kids are going through school. She is reopening her store, and so I have some of my products there. So Mary and I kind of conspired.
And then they got flooded out.
Yes, well,
Temporarily.
was that story. Yeah, so that's how I kind of came back into the Portland business community. I'm happy to be here.
Cool.
Hold on.
Okay. And I'm Mary Kay Schmitz. I own Mary's Cove downtown Portland here. I just reopened in November, and what I do there is I rent booths. Julie has one of the booths there for lavender and lace. And the back part of my store is also for health, for real clean health supplements and stuff like that. Judy is doing a presentation tonight on weight loss. It's going to be an awesome clinical study.
Why'd you look at me?
No,
I thought she looked.
It was a joke. I'm just kidding you. It's a joke.
She was looking at me, Chopper.
She was looking at me.
joke. I'm just kidding you. You can't hurt my feelings.
But anyway, she's doing one of a kind. Nobody has done this kind of talking before, so it's going to be really, really inspiring and awesome.
It's based on a clinical study with some very recently developed nutraceuticals, so it's kind of like way different than kind of what people are used to. And everyone, I think there's going to be 5 people there that have tremendous weight loss stories, and they're all from here.
Did you say nutraceuticals? Which is a new word for folks, so you want to just expand on that just quickly?
A nutraceutical is a pharmaceutical grade product that has certain standards. It has standardized nutrients and be tested to show that. Let's see, they have to be made from food sources, and that's what differentiates them from a pharmaceutical, because a pharmaceutical needs to be a brand new molecule, or a pharma couldn't advertise them as like a drug. So nutraceutical is all food molecules that, in this case, they're very low temperature dehydrated food.
So the vitamins and everything
Yeah.
come through the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. So that's a very good question. I do have one slide about that tonight. So they're pharmaceutical grade, high quality, standardized, food sources. Oh, and one of the other criteria is for human benefit. So, and they usually have to be included in the physician's desk reference, they usually have to have certain standards. And this company has like jumped several bars way higher than any other company as far as certifications. Yeah, so, but thanks for asking.
But they're not regulated by like FDA or USDA.
Yep.
I'm Mary Haas, and my husband Ryan and I are bringing a new business to downtown Portland. This is the first time I've talked about it, so you guys are privy to.
You're the first to know, you're all VIPs.
You already, this is the first to know. We just signed the lease this week, so we will be opening up a store called Port, and it will be where the old gallery was. And it is going to feature modern craft wine, a wine tasting room, and that's a different kind of wine that we discovered up in the Thumb area. They have the most tasting rooms in Michigan at 6 and opening up another 3 more. They have a proprietary method of making the wine, and where it is fruit infused wine, so it's a little bit different. When we tried it, I kind of fell in love with it. I'm not really much of a wine drinker, but they encourage the mixing of wine, so it's a little bit different than it's way different than your traditional wine. They say they're not a pinky up, they're not a sniffing squirrel. They're come on in, let's have some fun, mix wine with wine with juices, or wine with sodas.
And you can mix your own blends and buy them to take home, right?
That is with the other business that I'm hoping to start. They have 28 flavors of the wines. That yes, you can buy a couple of different kinds, and in North Mountain White, you can mix it up with a tropical, and that makes a sangria. So yes, you can try those. You come in and you do your samplings, and if you want to pour it, like a little larger sampling, you can do that, and of course selling the wine as well. Also hope to open and working on a candle bar, which is going to have like wax on tap, where you are making your own candles. So you're selecting your fragrances, and you can mix up to 3 fragrances and make your own candle. And then we also hope to, under Tina's wonderful advice, we're taking your advice.
And seal the cork on your wine with your candle wax.
Yes, oh, nice.
Seal the cork with your wax.
Yes.
Easy ideas, guys.
Can't take credit for that.
And we'll have Michigan-made kind of snackable type foods, your chocolates and your chips.
So while you're sampling wines, you can have treats.
Yes, you can have your drinks and that kind of thing.
So it'll be like a little destination where you can gather some friends and come and sit down?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, you
Nice.
hit it, exactly, and that's why I
Nice.
named it the Port, it's because of Port is a destination.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so we hope to make the space in there, have different types of furniture. Your comfy couches to your high top bar where you can all sit around on both sides of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Plus you'll have retail too,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
Awesome.
Portland really appreciates that.
Yeah, it's right across the street on campus. So we're very excited about that, and we're still like open to ideas and thoughts, and really feel pulled to do this because of the community. We just moved here like 2.5 years ago and absolutely love Portland. I love downtown. I could drive downtown every time and back because I love downtown Portland.
Cool. Very neat.
I'm Eric Proctor. I don't know. What's your story? I guess.
Longtime volunteer, great Beer Fest promoter.
I created Beer Fest on the Bridge and co-organized it with Tina and I'm a Beer Hound. Our own Coeur d'Alene Media, we do video production, marketing, different promotions. If you saw some of the drone footage of the Ice Jam, well, there was a bunch of it, but mine was the unedited, no music, just straight shot that got 40,000 views. Wish my other videos could get that. I do some events and promotions besides Beer Fest on the Bridge, working on a couple more events that I really can't say much about right now because I just can't. And then I work for a brewery that's not around here. I'm their promotions manager and brand ambassador, Crankers Brewery at Big Rapids. So, yeah, and been volunteering forever downtown Portland.
Awesome.
And just took a board seat.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I just took a board seat on the Ione Community Theater. I do plays and stuff, whatever. Come see.
Whatever.
They're fun.
Well,
They're
yes.
fun, yeah. So I'm going to be getting involved over more in Ionia too.
Go. All right. Well, I'm Nick Sanborn, Sanborn Real Estate. It's down here on the corner of Grand River and 10th Street. Guess I don't do anything as exciting as everybody else is doing here, but yeah. But residential homes. I've sold many commercial buildings here downtown here too, so got a good feel for what's going on downtown here too. I bought the business from my father about 4 years ago. So he started in 1985, so been around forever. Seems like forever to me.
Next, your go-to guy if you want property or building in Portland area.
Right. I'll take that, yes.
I'm Marjorie Briggs, and I have Two Rivers Housing Consulting PC, and I'm just right over here on this next corner. It's my home and my business. And let's see, I'm on the DDA and chaired Main Street design. I combined design and biz on the Sesquicentennial Steering Committee. And I'll do a little volunteer stuff here.
I'm Maddie. I work at the wagon with my dad.
She's grooming to take over the family business.
I'm Sue Gorby. I am also not anywhere near having an exciting business. I'm actually general manager at Clinton Transit, which is in St. John's. I grew up down the road here on Grand River Avenue. I've known Tina since high school. And saw her post this, so here I am. I was handed the reins of Clinton Transit October 1st, and we have about 41 employees, 30 buses, and our ridership right around 5,000 passengers a month, and then it should be higher, so I'm here to try to get some marketing techniques.
I'll walk away with some good stuff.
My name is Dana Hankspa. I'm AmeriCorps Vista. I work alongside Tina here. I'm actually 7 months into my service. This is one of my projects I'm pretty proud about. So.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to put on our business workshop series without Dana. Information on business in a box at the front there. You can grab that. That's a program that you can access through us or through the library for free, 18,000 templates. I'm Tina, your friendly MI for Michigan Portland Downtown Director. That combines the Downtown Development Authority and the Main Street program. And if I get time afterwards, or anybody has any interest in some of the Sesquicentennial sponsorship opportunities that we've got in front of you, I'd love to explain those to you. I can let you know that we can break down payments into like 2 half payments or quarterly payments or whatever works for you, if you have a sponsorship opportunity that you want to get into. So I would like to lob it back to Jamie.
I avoided myself out of the video sound, so you really can't hear that well.
Come over here and we can hear you. You don't get off that easy.
Jamie Atkins, one of the co-owners for RC Cargo Services up on Grand River. We started about 5 years ago with Mark and Gail Reed. They were the previous owners, and we took over about a year ago, April. And what we specialize in there, if you haven't been there, I don't think you have been there, is fine arts skating and training. We're the one in the state of Michigan, about 2 other states that actually do what we do. So we have over 1,100 artists that actually use them on a monthly and weekly basis. So
But you also do great work for businesses and organizations.
how about with the training, we get large format training. We do a lot of digital photo restoration, adding and framing, metal prints, anything. We have a 104-inch printer, so we can do 8-foot high. But our biggest thing is fine art reproductions, and that's what we're known for. So if you guys ever stopped in there and see some of our samples we have on the wall,
It is amazing and restorative to stop in and look around. It's like being in an art gallery, and you haven't had a chance.
If you like toys, then you're like in a candy store. So, we're a year into it, and we definitely have some goals set up. And we're, one thing that was never really pushed before is advertising. A lot of our stuff is all word of mouth, and that's how we got started. 5 years ago, we got started with 0 customers, word of mouth, and we have people that travel from on a regular basis from Chicago all the way up from Petoskey area, all the way along the east and west coast. We have a lot of artists that see a huge value in what we offer, being able to scan their stuff, that instead of rather photographing, we've got a 4-foot by 6-foot flatbed scanner that can capture 3D-like images, produce 3D-like prints. So, very listeners. Like to think about that.
I need a map.
Good to know.
So it is my pleasure today to introduce our panel of experts who many I've worked with for many years.
I like that word. Told her she shouldn't drink in the morning.
We're going to start by introducing Sarah Miller. She's with the Small Business Association of Michigan. I've had the pleasure of working with Sarah on and off with different projects for about 13 years now. So it's been very exciting and a good partnership. I did have the opportunity for a while with the Ionia Chamber to be on their leadership council. The Small Business Association of Michigan offers many wonderful things to businesses just like yours. They're a good organization to get to know and to be a part of, and hopefully we'll have time for her to tell you a little bit more about the organization later. Chapper Schraben is our local wonder man. He humbly says he took over a family business. What I see when I work with Chapper is somebody who has really connected to his community and reached out beyond it in a lot of ways, and has helped that business grow and explode in so many positive ways. So hopefully he'll be sharing some of that with us. And then it's my pleasure as well to introduce Martha Davis. Right. I got it right. Okay. Should be easy. I met Martha by chance, I think, at Christmas through Lowell.
Probably.
Yep. She has a wonderful business in Lowell, and she has partnered her business with Kaleidoscope Laser. So she's an expert, and she's also inserted her business into another location in Grand Rapids, which she can tell you about as well. And right from the start, Martha was engaging, and she does wonderful things with social media, email, and her website. The thing of having an online presence and the ability to sell what you have online is great. So then Martha has been here several times with pop-up shops at Miller in Motion. And we're kind of hoping that she might think about another location here in Portland in the future. So that's not why we invited you. We invited you for your expertise, but I'll put a plug in wherever I can get one. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Sarah.
Well, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. As Tina said, I'm with the Small Business Association of Michigan. My role has changed over the years. I've actually been there for over 17 years now. So I've seen a lot of different marketing techniques come and go over the years. But right now I'm really pleased to be kind of overseeing our marketing and our strategic communications. So I'm going to talk a little bit about logos and branding, but please have this be really informal and ask me questions about anything marketing related. It sounds like we have two really great experts here to continue on. So I think one of the things that we deal with internally, because we operate just like a small business, I think we have a limited budget, limited staff resources, and so my goal always is to have a consistent presence in terms of our logo, our branding, and what people see when SBAM sends information out. And so I've included my presentation, but it's really just a few highlights about what I think that people want to consider. And I really think that if you take nothing else away, it's just to be super consistent. Create a logo that you think really represents your business well. Don't be afraid to change it if you think that something needs a little bit of tweaking. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 logo changes over the years at SBAM, and it just means that we're evolving as an organization, and it's okay to kind of take it to the next level. I put our 50th anniversary logo on here as an example. SBAM turns 50 this year, and so we said, let's change it up. It still looks like our SBAM logo, but we added the ribbon, still SBAM blue, have the 50th in there. So just an idea of things that you can do to make things a little bit special as you move along. I do put in here things like separate your text from your images, or maybe avoid using clip art. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people because we don't have the resources available to us. So in your folder, I included this handout from somebody called My Nerdy Best Friend. And she's hysterical. She's a great resource. You should look her up. She has taught me so many things over the last few years about different tools, and like a lot of them are free or super low cost tools, websites, apps that you can use. Canva is one that I love. Do you love Canva? And it's really inexpensive, and you can make professional looking things without having a graphic design degree. So graphic designers are wonderful, but they're not always affordable. So if you can, get in there and do some things yourself, I think that that could be a really great resource. And then, so basically that, hire a professional if you can, but if you can't, consider online resources like Canva. One of the things that we do internally is we have a style guide, and that prevents other people in the organization from just going up and doing their own thing. I don't know, sometimes in smaller businesses you might not have as many people, but we have a sales department, we have people who manage products and services, we have people who manage government relations, and we don't want everybody just having free reign to go create documents, and one person's using this font and another person's using green and this person's using red. And so I think just having kind of a set style guide and understanding what what font do you think is a good font that represents your business? What color palette do you want to use on all of your materials? And just create that guideline that's easy to follow, even if it's just one page, even if it's just a reminder for yourself to not get too crazy. I know that sometimes I think, ooh, that's really cool, I could do that. Stop and think back, it doesn't look like SBAM. So back it up, start over, and kind of go back into your brand and style guideline. I think for resources, talking about know your capabilities and limitations, but still leverage your technology and the tools available to you. Videographers, there's obviously some great resources here. but you can do a lot with an iPhone too. Video is so important right now, and I don't know, maybe Martha, you're going to talk a little bit about video and utilizing that, but we found that a microphone, a tripod, and an iPhone gives us a lot of capabilities when it comes to getting our message out. And we film a couple different things each week, something we call our Monday Minute, which is an internal update, and then another thing we call Wednesday Wisdom, where we come out to business owners like you and ask you to share a couple of pieces of advice you've learned or have a great resource. And we do that on an iPhone and run it through something in Adobe, and we're able to share it. But in all of those, we're consistent with our the branding. We're consistent in making sure that everything is kind of up to snuff. Some of the other things I talked about, Canva. Lumen 5 is another resource that I just learned about. It's an online tool that allows you to take an article or a blog post or any kind of text and have it overlaid with images or other videos. So you can create little videos that you could post to social media, which is really cool. And then Animoto is another one that allows you to take pictures. So you could take pictures of your inventory, of events, of, you have people coming into the new wine bar, so you get pictures. You have people say that you can use them, and then you can create kind of a buzz around it with just a few little clicks. So it's kind of Animoto, Animoto. Yeah. So I think for SBAM, what we like to do, everything is going to be around your SBAM blue. Everything has its own, the same look and feel. If you go to our website, if you get our e-newsletters, if you get something in the mail, I think that, as you were to receive information from us, it really does stand out as being the SBAM brand. And it's something that I've worked really hard toward in my role, is to having this consistent look and feel. And so yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. What kind of questions do you guys have about?
We can go ahead and save questions to the end.
Sure.
But one thing I would like to say about logos, and supports everything that you've talked about here, and that is, when you think about logos, think about Coke or Coca-Cola, or think about McDonald's and the Golden Arches. It doesn't matter where you are or how you're seeing them, whether it's on a billboard on the highway, whether it's in your grocery store, whether it's in an ad on television, you know exactly who they are.
And that's a good point, and I kind of skipped over that part too, is make sure that your logo has nice colors. Make sure that your logo is easily readable. Don't try to overlay, orange text on a red background. I mean, people aren't going to be able to read it. Make sure it looks good when you print it in black and white. So I think that there's a lot of things that we don't think about because it looks pretty in one instance, but then when you go and you put it, in black and white, or try, if it's too bright or something, you can't really read it. And even though I said, it's okay to make a change, I think you should try to keep a logo for a good amount of time. I mean, you wouldn't want to get a new one every year or 2 years, but know when it's time to make a change, but still be consistent in how you use it, where you use it, and make it so that people know it's the wagon wheel when you show up.
Let me ask one more quick thing. How do you feel logos move into branding, and what's the importance of branding?
Right, so I think that your logo should support your brand and your brand should support your logo. So they're completely different things. If you look at all of the pieces that you would lay out for your marketing. So let's say you have letterhead, business cards, your logo, your website, your e-newsletter, whatever
menu.
What's that?
Your menu.
Yeah, your menu, menu cards. So you're going to have a new special. Your inserts, however that might be. Everything should look like it belongs together. You wouldn't want something to be so vastly different that people are confused about, oh, is that really, an SBAM ad, or is that an ad for another organization? You want it to have some consistency and really make sure that you're being that if you laid it all down on a table, that it would look like it belonged together, that it's part of a family.
So was this your logo?
Business cards admittedly need a little bit of work, but you know, we have our S-Band blue on the back. These definitely need a redesign, but you know, it still has the same like font families and colors, and you know, it's consistent if you put it in a folder or attach it to a letter or send it in a welcome packet to a new member.
Sorry, I just updated.
There you go, thank you.
Good job.
See, we can't afford to update everything with the 50th, so that's why we needed it to work together, because we can't, yeah. We couldn't afford to just, that wouldn't be a good use of our members' money. But, and you know, don't be afraid to say to somebody that's not in the style guidelines and I need you to recreate it.
So like if someone's creating an ad for you
Yeah.
for print or something
Yeah.
like that.
Don't be afraid to say, that's not how we do things. Or draft yourself a little one-page style guide that tells people what your preferred fonts are, what your preferred colors are, and then if you are going to hire somebody, you can send that to them. They can utilize that, and that'll give them a lot of knowledge and information
And
about what
really
to
appreciate your
what
doing
to
that
do.
than just leaving them to their own devices.
Yes,
They appreciate it
they
when
do.
you can provide them.
They do. I get that request from people that we work with all of the time. Yeah. So I had to create one.
Yeah, I make sure and like save every time somebody creates one for me. I save it so if somebody needs a new like ad for something, I just send that out to them so it, like you're saying, it keeps it looking the same. I don't have to try to recreate it or forget something.
Plus, once you pay for it, you own
Yeah.
it, right?
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they send it to me and I just keep reusing that, so.
It's a good use of your initial investment, and it's consistent. If you're going to run an ad in the paper or a local magazine or online, then it's always recognizable, and after a while it'll be second nature. People know it's your real estate company.
And always get a vectored image.
Yes, good point. Otherwise it'll become pixelated after
Right,
time.
and you're going to pay somebody else to vector it for
And
you.
you might not be able to open that vector.
But it's
on your
But it
own
doesn't
program
matter, but
yourself,
somebody else can.
But you just have to have that file to be able to send to other people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I always ask for the vector and then just like a PNG, and also get one with transparent background.
Yes.
So that you could put it on a white or, you know, clear document,
That's how
or
we
put a
create
color
that.
behind it. And then you'll be able to utilize it without it having like that white block, which we've all seen and all done. I have definitely done that before.
And in the past, RCP has done that for me. Yeah,
Really?
Taking
Transparent.
Made it transparent for you.
If you knew that or not.
It was Jamie that did it, so. We want to move on to Chopper.
Does everybody have my handout in their folder?
Yeah.
Are you making fun of me?
I'm making fun of me. I'm making fun of me. 'Cause on the way here, Maddie's like, well, do you have anything? And I'm like,
Would you say that?
no.
You got lunch.
No, she made
That's
fun of
way
me
better,
though.
though.
She made fun of me. She's like, well, what do you have? What are you going to talk about? I go, I don't know. And you said I wouldn't have to.
I did.
Anyway,
I said, do what you want.
so I don't really know what to tell you except for some things that are important to me.
We all seen your billboard.
Number one, that has been my next stuff. You know, marketing in general has changed so much in the last 15 years. It used to be, the big thing was the paper, right? Everybody put ads in the R&O that nobody saw. So I started putting coupons in there, and I'm like, okay, if you're handing out 5,000 papers, and I get 4 coupons back, it's probably not a good rate of return, okay? So then the big focus was on emails, right? Everybody wanted to get their email address and their email address. Well, only about 8% of all the emails that are sent out get opened up. So then we went to text messaging, okay? Well, now those have gone to a lower percentage of people opening them up. So, so where do you go? You go to Facebook, where everybody spends all their useless time in the world on.
Not all.
Whether they want,
Especially
no,
I have no friends.
but whether you want to or not, you
Yeah.
know, you're on it. And if you want to succeed in business, you have to be a part of that community. And the only way to be a part of that community and do it effectively, cost-wise, is to hire somebody to do it. Because physically, you can't do it. And that goes hand in hand with a great website and a mobile app for your website pay have a budget of $3,500 to $5,000 if that's where you want your business to go, and pay the money and have a good website. Because when you go to like let's say you Google restaurants in Brighton, Michigan, right? Your eyes go to the best website. If they have a crappy website, you don't click on them. Plain and simple. So have somebody design your website, be prepared to spend the money if that's the direction you want to go. And when you're doing that, then you can capture information from people. You can do things called geofencing, where you can, if Eric drives into my area and I have a geofence around my business, I can target him when he goes to certain websites. I'm just shooting off at the mouth, but there's so many things out there that we're not good at. I'm not good at it. You have to hire it done if you really want your money to go somewhere, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time and get little results.
Okay, well, you are good at it.
And you think, well, I don't know about that, but, and I also think that I've always had the attitude that every customer I have is going to die. Okay? I know that sounds morbid, but...
Did you record that?
You are going to lose
But they are.
20% of your customer base on average. It doesn't matter what your business is. You will lose 20% of your customer base every year because they've moved, they've died, they've whatever.
And you better figure out how to replace that, or you're not going to be around very long, you know? And it's not always about the business that you do. It's about the ancillary income that comes from your business. You know, it's not always like people say, well, gee, do you do well in bowling or do you do well in the restaurant? And I'm like, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But they go hand in hand, you know. Nick may bring his kids out for a birthday party, but he may have a couple beers while he's waiting for them. Or my youth bowling program that Jamie did our bus for us, put the logos on the side. Picking up kids. Does it make us money? Probably not, and it's really kind of a big pain in the ass for me because I have to drive bus. You know, no offense. No offense. I do love it. It's just very time consuming and very committed. You got to be committed to it. And me and my wife have been doing it for going on 12 or 15 years, and we're on our 5th bus. But does it make us
the next generation of bowlers?
Right? Does it make us money? No, but we are probably one of the best league bowling houses in the state of Michigan with 12 lanes. At one point, we had the second highest number of sanctioned league bowlers in the United States per lane.
Nice.
Okay?
Wow.
So, I don't think I ever showed you that. I have the article. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. When you go on vacation, go to a transit place. Check it out. See what they're doing right. You know, when I go on vacation, I go bowling. I know that sounds really stupid, but it's really kind of fun because I'm not in my own place and I relax a little bit. You know? Huh?
You bowl better, do you?
No, I bowl like shit, but I have fun. You know what I mean? I need to go somewhere and experience. Why would somebody want to come to my place? Because when somebody comes into your business, it's all about time. Okay? It used to be that people, when they joined a league, it took 3 hours, they bowled 3 games, and that's what they did. Well, people don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. You know, it's about my time. I'm so busy that I only have this amount of time, and if I go somewhere and it wasn't, whether it's food, drink, entertainment, if you go somewhere and it's not worth your money, it's not worth your time is your most valuable asset that you have. So it all boils down to the time that people have it. And they come into your place and they feel that the time they spent there wasn't worth it, then they're not going to come back. So, I don't know.
That was the golden nugget.
Yeah. Experience, right? It's all about the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and steal things. I steal things from people. If I can't sleep at night, I'm on my iPad and I'm checking out restaurants in Grand Rapids, and I'm checking out restaurants here, and I'm checking out bowling centers there, and I'm going on their websites, and I'm figuring out what they're doing and what works and what doesn't, and
that's called R&D, rip off and duplicate.
Yeah, what the hell?
You
know, plagiarism is the finest form of flattery, man. If they're making it and they're making money and they're making a living, then copy them. Do what they do. and do it better than they do. You know, and we're living in such a fast society that we're planning things a year down the road, you know, and we didn't used to have to do that. But if you rely on the people of Portland to make your living for you, at least in our business anymore, that's not where the growth is going to come from. We have a great community, we have a growing community, but there's still only so many people that are going out to dinner, going bowling, that have kids, that are retired or whatever. The pools of people aren't huge, and we have a lot of businesses to support. So that's why we did the billboards. So,
And then you, like, for example, you had the comedy night.
right.
You do different entertainment nights or different, like, wine sampling nights or?
It's all about the demographics. You know, we do that, number one, to help the community. I think we probably wrote checks to nonprofits for over $35,000 last year. But each of those groups bring in another demographic to your business, okay?
And I think the people that come with those groups, that see how charitable you are to your community or to their organization, and then they have that great experience with you.
Sure, it's a connection with
That
people.
causes them to come back.
Right.
Bring their friends.
And do on their own at other times.
You know, the hardest part about doing that sometimes is some people think that they have a great cause, and every cause is a great cause, but it's also a cause that isn't going to work. You know what I mean? That's probably the hardest thing about doing that stuff, is sometimes people are like, well, I really want to do a fundraiser for this, and you kind of have to go, that's a great idea, it's very worthwhile, but we can't get anybody in here to do it. Does that make sense? And everybody has good ideas, but that's probably the hardest part of that. So, but that's why we went to the billboards, because this new generation is very mobile. You know, they don't stay in one place very long.
And the geofencing.
Yep.
That works.
So,
Yeah, that's really smart. too, the
and then
geofencing.
we got to the point where how do you advertise to people in Portland? Because you can't. What's the avenue to advertise to people in this town? There isn't one.
Word of mouth.
So,
Facebook, honestly. This is the
right,
biggest
that's it.
Facebook community I've ever seen anywhere, bar none.
I'm from Mason now, and I don't know. I was kind of surprised at all the Mason.
They have a new pizzeria opening up there.
Oh, we know. People are dying to know what the date is of this opening. It's Monday.
Okay,
March
whoever that
25th,
pizzeria is, that
All right,
know,
so
you want to follow
but
R&D
that's
Direct stuff.
that's how I found that out, though, is by looking
You're
for
looking
stuff
at
like that. You know, how did I know that a place was opening up in Mason on
Right.
the 25th?
Right.
Because that's what I do. I'm kind of,
It's like their second store.
It's their third one.
Third store, yeah.
but it's just kind of,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a freak.
When you
No,
when you advertise or use Facebook, do you do it all organically, or do you pay for things as well?
I have a company that I pay a set amount a month, and
They do
so
it
I'll
for you.
say, hey, Chris, this is my Mother's Day promotion. Get it out
Got
there.
it. And so they then put a little bit of money behind it too?
Right.
Okay.
And you also can say, okay, if there's a certain demographic that you want to hit, you can filter all that stuff out. Like if you're doing a bowl 2 games, if school's closed with shoes for $8, you don't want to send it to 80-year-olds, you know. So you want to send it to working parents with kids in this age group, in this income, or whatever. So
In this area, like
Right.
you said, a radius.
yeah.
Yeah, we found that I do most of it free, but we found that if we boost or promote things on a fairly regular basis, even if it's just a small amount of money, that it even helps our organic reach too. So that's why I was wondering if
Right.
you did
No,
both or,
I don't.
but you have somebody, yeah, you have
Right.
one person.
You know, and then if there's so many keywords that you can have for a business. Okay, so when I look at the keywords for our place, let's say, all right, do you bowling, prime rib, burgers, beer, comedy, wine tasting, fundraisers, whatever. How do you get those? How do you get people searching for that stuff and have your stuff come up first? I don't know. So I pay for it to get done.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, I just don't, how do you do it? As a business owner, you don't have time, so you need to find people that can do that for you.
the more content you have and the more consistent search terms you put on your website. So
Okay.
if you have combinations of words and, and use tags on the back end, that helps with the search engine optimization when people go into Google.
Okay.
So you're gonna wanna say Portland Bowling Center, you know,
Right.
whatever that thing, so when people go and actually type in similar terms,
That'll
they're gonna
get it
connect
to
it.
pop up.
Yeah, that's one of the things that
I
really
It's
think
very
that's a nice
important.
segue for Martha, because she does
She's
do
the
it on her
expert.
own.
Go ahead,
I do.
Martha.
Yeah.
And she has a thriving, very busy business. And if you don't mind starting out, can you share with us kind of what your business hours are and how you decided
Yep.
what those should be?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was gonna talk about too, because business hours, even if it's slow, I really think being open as long as you can is a huge marketing tool. Because as people are growing and, or this community is growing and you have restaurants that people are coming to, if you're not open, they're just seeing an empty, you know, they're just looking in through the windows and they're not open. As summer goes on and we get, especially in Lowell, a small town, small community, people come in there for, you know, the antique shopping, mostly was what draws them there, or the restaurants. I have found that if I'm open till, you know, sometimes 9 o'clock at night, you would not believe the people that I get in. They say, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were here. You know, of course, you're going to get that for a long time, but it is a marketing tool. It is another way that you can have people come into your store, because it may not immediately, you know, sell something, but just being open, they're like excited that you're open and that there's a place to walk into if they're on a walk or if they're waiting for dinner. I mean, we have hour waits at both of our big restaurants in town, and everybody comes through and.
It's like a car dealership.
Yeah.
If I owned a car dealership, it would be open till 9 o'clock every night. Who the hell wants to take a day off of work to go buy a car?
Right, right.
You know?
There's a lot of our businesses in town that close at 5. Right now, we close a little early just because it's been so slow, because it's been crappy weather. I mean,
Nobody's walking around.
Nobody wants to walk on the
around.
sidewalk.
No, I mean.
And you can adjust for things like that? or-
Yeah, and we do. I mean, we'll probably start staying open a little bit later. But to me, that's been a huge marketing tool. I mean, I've actually closed at 8 and then had a local person that knows me well call me and say, are you still there? And I was walking out in the parking lot. I have a girl, she's a caterer. I have a girl that snagged her dress and she needs it for a wedding. Can you go back in? I said, yeah, I'm still here. I'll go back in. So, because she knew I would be open late. So I think that's huge, especially when you first start. It's a pain in the ass. But when you own a retail business, it's like,
It's all a pain in the ass.
that's what it is, you know?
Sorry.
What do you do? It's your advertising, it's like a tool that you use to advertise. It's not just the Facebook or the other thing that I don't know if you guys have used is Instagram, because now the younger generation is all using Instagram. The older generation is using Facebook. So
know your market, know your
know
audience.
your market, know your audience. I mean, we cater to about 35 to 65 is our general audience for the boutique clothing. So that younger version of people, they're doing a lot with Instagram. So I've had to do both. In talking to some of our younger marketing people that are in at the members of the chamber in Lowell, they said that you should be posting to Facebook and Instagram. And on the stories, I don't know if you guys know what stories are, on that version, you should be doing it at least twice a day. So when I go into my store in Lowell in the morning, I post something there, and then when I go to 28th Street, I also post something there. So I do it twice a day, and I try and post something on the main page, and then I also try and post something on the story, the individual stories on Facebook and Instagram. Because people,
stories were there.
yeah, well, Facebook just started doing it not that long ago, because I think they saw Instagram doing it, and then they're kind of like, oh, this is another
When you post,
way.
it gives you the option to do both, so you can
Okay.
do both at the same time.
Do
Yeah.
you do the same content on Facebook and Instagram?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do, yeah, I do.
So you're not having to create a whole bunch of.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll
different
copy, if you're not forwarding, like you said, to both, then I'll copy and paste it and do the exact same thing. The hashtags, I don't use hashtags as much on Facebook. It doesn't seem like you need to, but the Instagram, yes, you do. Everybody uses hashtags on Instagram. And I will literally type a hashtag and then type something in, and you know, those, whatever it says will pop up. So whatever's the, and you can see how many people are actually clicking on those hashtags. Like it'll tell you 1 million, whatever. So you can click on boutique shopping, and it might say a huge amount, so then I'm like, yes, I want that one. Or learn like the little acronyms that they have. So outfit of the day, OOTD, it'll be hashtag that, and it will have just thousands of.
So you had to think about that for
Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what your business is in both places, how you do that.
Okay, we are a women's clothing boutique. We started out, and I kind of have a catch to it too. It started out with the name Tap House Beau. People would go by in Lowell and you'd think it was a little wine tasting brewery or whatever. They didn't know. Well, that drew everybody in. We were kind of like, cool.
That works.
Can we taste beer? No, you can't, but you can have root beer on tap, which we do. My husband built me a kegerator, and we have a local brewery in town that makes root beer, so I keep that on tap.
Cool.
So that's why we are Tap House Beau. We call it our love between boutiques and breweries, because we do. We love both of them. We visit all the boutiques and all the breweries.
And you're situated between a couple breweries.
And we are, yeah, because there was none when I first started in Lowell, and now we have 2, so it's pretty cool. And they both kind of serve different functions. But we have a lot of local artists in our shop, too. We do a lot of consignments because when I first started, we had a very small location, and as we've grown, this is our 3rd spot in Lowell, we have more space to fill, and so I wanted more variety. So we started bringing in local artists that do jewelry or pottery or, I don't know, anything. Soaps. Kaleidoscope came in, and we asked them to share space because they were busy making stuff and having a hard time manning their store. So I said, I'm here, why don't you just join us? And so they did, and then they brought in like a whole wall of display so that people can order through them, through us too, because we're there. So my other part of it too is, you have all this information on, yes, we do a ton on Facebook and Instagram, but also what makes you unique, I guess. We pulled in Patricia's chocolates, so a lot of times I'll put on my sign out front, need chocolate? We have French chocolates inside from Grand Haven. So find things that make you unique and different. That's a huge marketing tool that makes you more of a destination of why people come to you. Our biggest thing too is we call ourselves a French boutique, because one of the things that was really cool when we moved into that spot is that it is kind of decorated in a very French themed decor, because the lady that owned it prior to us gutted the whole place out after the pizza place was there, and she brought in a lot of French decor in the building itself. And I have a French line that I order from. We have the Patricia's Chocolates, which is French, and we play French music. So what makes you unique, I guess, so that people come back to you and they look for you. They look for those specialty things.
You're kind of branding that way.
We're kind of branding that way, yeah. But we have clothing from all over the world, so.
With a French connection.
With a French catch, yes. So I guess the other part of it is too is our cash station is right up front. As soon as people come in the door, it's an immediate greeting. Hey, what brings you in today? You want to make sure that you're asking not yes/no questions, but let them tell a story, just like you're going to tell a story about each item that you have in your store, because I make sure that I do. So like from the soaps that we have from Elk Rapids, I always make it a wow factor, like, oh my gosh, have you been to this little place in Elk Rapids? It's adorable. Well, we brought her soaps in here. All her things are unique and amazing. They smell awesome. Everything should have a story. So to me, that's like the biggest selling point when somebody picks something up. Oh my gosh, have you tried that line? That is awesome. It's as easy as that. It's having a conversation with somebody.
You might come in for clothing, but you're going to spend, as Chopper said, more time there because you're finding your time valuable and you're enjoying the experience and the atmosphere.
And then you're going to sell the ancillary product.
Yes.
Yep. So.
And what are you doing in Grand Rapids? How'd that work out?
Okay, well, we were getting really slow in Lowell, and I was tired of it. So I'm not one to sit still. So that's kind of why we started to reach out to Portland and to other places too. I just felt like not only do you have to be social media, you have to reach out. So I started joining groups in Lowell. I started getting to know people. I started planning events in Lowell. I reached out to the furniture store because they used to be in Lowell, and so I talked to them and said, how is business on 28th Street? What are you doing? The moment I said that, Ken is like, an awesome person as far as marketing goes too. He goes, well, tell her she can have space in our store. I didn't even ask. I just said, what? He said, yeah, no, let's join forces. You can, I said, oh, well, that's not really what I wanted, but cool, let's do it, you know. I guess think out of the box, and why not? Why not try it? He said, let's try it for 3 months. If it doesn't work, you know, let's move on. So we've been there not quite a month yet, and so far it's been pretty good. You know, we're slowly starting. It'll be busy. I think once people get it, what's in there, they will shop with us a lot more.
What's the attraction and gets people to Lowell? The only thing I ever knew about Lowell, I think it was Charlton Heston's hometown, wasn't it?
The Showboat,
The Showboat.
which
Which
they're
is gone.
rebuilding.
The
Aren't they
concerts.
rebuilding it?
Yeah, they are rebuilding it, yeah.
It used to be big,
Yeah.
big, lot of antique.
Flat River Grill.
Tons of antique places are still there, yeah.
Well, honestly, what you're Lowell, though, is exactly what you said. The stores are open late there, so if you
Yeah.
want to do something after work or on a summer evening during the week even, you can go through and stroll downtown Lowell. And
They have the
there's
most
stuff
wonderful
open.
dime store.
Yeah,
That's-
it's awesome.
that one
That place is
I'll
great.
drive over there and just go that
And
time.
then,
Yeah.
what value do you place on the events that are put on in your,
Yeah.
like, with your businesses?
Value's huge. It is a pain in the ass. I won't discount that. It is a lot of work to put those events on because we have 2 of us that are doing it.
So you're
it's
putting them on, but
so-
what about participating in them?
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah. So like what we do is there's 4 events that we plan. We, meaning myself and another small business in town, the owner. The other events are planned by the chamber and they do a great job. But on January, February, and March, and May, they don't plan really any events. So here we sit all winter with nothing going on. So we decided as merchants that we needed to get together and we needed to have something during those months so that people would still continue to come out and enjoy Lowell. So we would plan, the first one we do is called Wine About Winter. And we get the
R&D, full disclosure, I told Martha that I ripped it off. Wine about the ice jam.
Yes. So we include the breweries and the restaurants and everything, and they do wine specials. And then it's just a shopping event. So people have punch cards, they go around to each business, they get a check, and we put on the punch card, shop and support local small businesses and enter drawings and win Lowbucks. Because we have Lowbucks that we can give away. It's just like getting a credit card in Lowell, and all the businesses that participate, you can use your Lowbucks and spend money.
Portland Prime.
Yep, which I love that name too. That one's even better. So we do give away Lowbucks on purpose so that it goes back into the community and they can support all the small businesses that are there. The second one we do is a chocolate stroll. I did steal that one from Rockford. So Rockford, you have to pay for it, and they sell just so many. Ours, you don't. It's just, again, a punch card. Everybody gives away chocolate. They shop. We're probably going to change it up where if you spend money, then you actually get to enter twice, you know, just so more people we're promoting the spending in the small businesses as well. And again, they win Lowbucks. In March, we did a Get Lucky in Lowell. That one I did not name, which
I
my
like it.
partner
That's good.
named,
I think
and
it's
we
cute.
cracked up when we did it because it was funny. So anyway, it's very, catchy. And again, we gave away Lowbucks, but everybody would shop small, get a punch card, and we didn't do a punch card this time. They just entered, the difference is they got to enter at every location for a giveaway. So, and then they got lucky in the stores. This next one we'll do is a Mother's Day event, and that'll be in May. So, I guess those are just some of the things that we really, really work on and promote. Tonight, we're doing a thing in the 28th store because now that we are in 28th, I actually live in Ada, and so our kids go to Forest Hill Central. I don't know why, but nobody from Forest Hill Central will come shop in Lowell. Not very
That's
often.
crazy.
I know, they don't come that way. They're so used to going to Grand Rapids that they just don't come back to Lowell, even though that when they do, they say, oh my gosh, this is the cutest little community, and we're like, I know, you should be here more often. And it's 8 miles from you. We're now
8 long miles.
I know.
The far, far off land of Lowell.
Exactly. Seriously. And then to 28th, it's from my house, it's like 9.25. So it's actually longer to go down 28th and more hassle to go there, but they still go that direction. Because they go, to the malls and shopping on 28th or grocery shopping, whatever. So they just do it. So that's kind of why we decided to do that second location there too, to get that, that traffic as well. But we're doing a fundraiser for Forest Hill Central there because I knew they would come there. And also Lowell is a competitor in school, so but yeah, so we're doing a fundraiser tonight for that. You know, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so great, but I think the more that you do them, the more they catch on. It's no different than the Girls' Night Out that the Chamber started. When they first started, they were kind of you know, low in attendance, but they kept doing them, and now they're just like amazing events. So thousands of people come to them. I can't say every event.
And you wouldn't ever choose to opt out of doing that?
Opt out of doing the event?
Yeah,
No.
opt out of being a part of Girls' Night Out.
If
or
you
whatever.
are not part of that, it doesn't look good for the community. You should always be a part of every event.
Doesn't look good for your business.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you have to do it, no matter what a painful process it is. And no matter the attendance. I mean, sometimes that's one thing. We have a feed on that merchants on Facebook that can connect to, and then they might say, oh, well, that was a bust. And then I'll get on and go, but thank you, Martha and Lori, for planning the event, because it was a lot of work, and Lori still works full-time, and I have 2 businesses, and then they'll all get on, thank you, Martha and Lori. Trying to keep it positive. So even though it may not be exactly the best, you know, at that day, you're still open late, it's still a good thing. It's still worth a shot. You should always participate. We charge the businesses $15 each event, and we get nothing out of it except for our own stores. So it's really doesn't cost that much to do it for us, you know, and we do a lot of work on it.
So I think this is where we open it up to you all for your questions for any of the panelists. And
Well, I have kind of about social media and Facebook, and somebody described me as a Luddite. I had to go to the big dictionary to even find out what I was. But
A what?
Luddite, somebody who actively resists
Oh.
technology.
Oh.
When it comes
nice.
Thank you for sharing that.
Right, now we know.
the Industrial Revolution. Somebody said, you know, if we get dependent on machines, we're going to lose our ability to think. You know, Alexander Ludd or whatever it was, L-U-D-D. But now, people that don't get with technology are called Luddites.
Okay.
And that describes me when it comes to the computer and technology. No, but Judy's in the business, and she was all excited and down to Mary's store for wine about the ice jam, right? And Judy goes online and checks Facebook, and she goes, oh my God, there's 500 people said they're coming, and we're not going to have room. And so I went down and helped, and we moved things around because Judy was just sure that there was going to be 500 people there, and they were going to run out of wine, and there was no place. How do you?
But I'm not usually on Facebook, so I don't know that the dynamics of.
Divided by third.
Well, that's what I was that was my
Yeah.
question, was to try to figure out on social media when you get scared like that, is it real or what should we plan for?
check in with us, we'll help you out.
Thank you for that disclosure, Jim.
Got a lot
You're
done
welcome.
since I couldn't sleep. Yeah, it's never what it says it's going to be.
I never put anything on there that has yes, no, are we going? I've never done it.
Well, that's what I was wondering, is there a way to find
No.
out?
I've done it for as long as
know,
Facebook was
check
out there and
in or
had
whatever.
events. And consistently, it is pretty much if you take half of all those that say they're going, or even 2/3 of all those that say they are for sure going, count that number, and take 1/3 of all of those that say they're interested, you're going to come really close to that number in attendance.
Oh, you have a science.
Did you
But
write that down? That's the math of it, yeah.
And I love the new, like, interested option on Facebook because you might not know what you're doing in 2 months.
Right.
But it'll still remind you that
Yes,
it's coming up.
if people click interested, they're going to keep
And
seeing any
yes,
post that you put out
I think
there.
it's so smart.
Well, I have a bit of a quandary. I don't have a service or a product I'm selling, I have a service. When I was handed the reins of this, I was told to modernize, rebrand, created a new logo. We're in the process of getting all that switched out, getting in brand new vehicles. Our misconception is that we are strictly transportation service for disabled and elderly. And we're general public transportation. We service all of Clinton County. We go all the way down into Lansing. How do I change that image where it's it's really difficult to get people to change that conception of what
Start
you are.
Facebooking
Content,
pictures of
yeah.
people and videos of people on and off your bus,
And-
and where they're getting dropped off to, even if you have to stage them.
And exactly, I was gonna say the same thing, photos and just tell people. Do a FAQ, you could even do a little video FAQ, you could just do an infographic and, you know, who can use the service, where do we go, and just use that. I think just tell them. Don't be afraid to say, you know, we're more than what you think or something like that.
All the
Yeah.
things that you think everybody knows, because you've been there for so long,
People don't know.
they don't know.
The only
Just
thing,
repeat them, just get them out there.
the other thing about that though is don't bore people. Don't just put stuff on Facebook of, hey, we do this, hey, we do that, hey, this is our special on Monday, hey, this is our special on
Make it
Tuesday.
interesting.
You're right.
Because
Yeah,
Facebook
interesting.
is all about engagement, so you need to put things out there that's going to make people click on it and engage them, because if you just put useless information out there, they really don't care. And they're going to skip over you and they're going to go to the next thing.
A photo, you need a photo.
So,
Put a little
Or an
peacock on your bus or
infographic.
something.
yeah,
a
or
dog
or
something.
a
What the
question,
heck's
hey,
that
do you
doing
know
on
how
the
many
transit?
people that we transported last year from this place to this place,
let 'em guess.
or how many
Oh, a
people on it?
poll.
Yeah, let 'em
Right,
guess.
and
Yeah.
if you can make them engage in your Facebook post, you've done 3/4 of the work.
Do you have any
Yeah.
community groups? Like we have Portland area, or Portland, Michigan community page, or the Portland Strong. Do you have any community groups there?
There's, all there really is a Clinton, it's called Clinton Trader, it's a garage sale site
Okay.
on Facebook.
Because those are the ones that have all the people connected,
Yeah.
and then if you can share to those and get your content that you put out.
It really is.
Do you do any free trips? Okay, so do you do anything on like St. Patrick's Day or New Year's Eve or stuff like that that would get those people to go, hey, holy
Safe
shit, I can
rides
get a safe
or-
ride home, because they're going to use you for more than just that once time. They're going to use you again, they're going to pay for it.
Well, that's part of the problem, again, inheriting this, I've been there several years, but I just got handed the whole,
Why would you ride it?
well.
What would make you get on your bus?
I was told to modernize simply because our service is Monday through Friday from, well, our first bus goes out at 4 a.m., but we have all of our buses in by 5:30 p.m. You were talking about extended hours. And so that's next on my list, is we've got to branch out a little bit further.
You could also just talk about it's more economical, it's time that
It's
you
green.
could read, it's green, you can read your book, listen to your, I mean, you can do these things if you want. You're
You could
driving
have Get
yourself.
Lucky on the bus week.
There you go.
What'd you say? I think that's called something else.
Figuratively.
Wherever you can inject humor, people will remember it.
But it
Humor is
that thing-
memorable.
It is that big thing about like enjoy your commute or something else. When I look at different times when I've been out in the Seattle area, and, you know, it's all about, you see so many people that are, instead of driving, they're doing, you know, the public transportation because it's so much easier, and they get to spend their time on doing what they want to, whether it's sleeping, or whether
It's usually 'cause I'm drinking.
vacation, or whatever, you know, and really
Yes.
down the road.
Designated driver.
Well, just an FYI, I don't know, we regularly, I don't want to say regularly, I guess, a few times a month, we get phone calls from people in Portland, I don't know if we'll come get them to take them to Lansing. We can't cross the county line yet, that might come someday, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
interesting.
There is interest
people
in
need to
transit.
know it's available. I mean, I have a coworker and her car broke down and she used, it was Eaton County, but she used that for 3 days to get to work. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh,
And how lucky
E-Train
for
is
you.
right over there.
Yeah, so,
And we meet up with E-Train, we meet up with CATA, so if you want to go all the way from Grand Ledge up to northern Clinton County, it's doable.
Yeah.
You'd have to change bus,
but
but you can do it.
yeah, I just think, yeah, and use that Canva, look up Canva, and there's infographics that are already you just have to like change out your graphics but they're all in there. And do you use Canva?
Yes. Yeah, I started this time.
Was it that one over, I thought that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, like I recognized
Business
it.
box, yes, that
Yeah.
is Canva.
So anybody have more questions? I do want to say
How
that
about
if you need to
advertising?
leave, you can.
Yeah,
So you said-
you're saying how to promote things, radio and TV, is that outmoded? I mean, I've been noticing I say to Judy, they just played that damn ad, or not, there's one that I can think of right now, Headlands Plumbing. You see the guy knock on the door and the woman with a nice white blouse, and they play their music. They put one other ad in between and they can repeat the same exact thing a second time. Is that some new
I think it would
marketing
depend on
strategy to make
your
people-
audience that you want to hit.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm Headland Plumbing and most of my customers are in the 40 to 75 year range, they watch a lot of regular TV still. A lot of the younger people are probably on Sirius XM radio, or they're doing all the TiVo, Hulu.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it all depends on your
And e-
demographic.
and
I
even
think. I don't know. What do you
rarely
think?
see commercial because
Yeah,
I
I
only watch what
DVR
I
it.
recorded, and I fast forward through the commercials.
I think video is a good idea, but maybe you wouldn't have it be a TV commercial. It could be on YouTube or Facebook or something that's a little bit less expensive.
And do
Because
young people even listen to the radio anymore?
Well, I think radio is.
Oh, yeah, radio.
radio's pretty
We
good.
found radio super beneficial.
Yeah,
Another
we're
thing-
past the bridge, for sure.
Oh, and find ways that you can be experts and reach out to radio stations, because people are probably looking for guests, to talk to about different
Yeah.
festivals or events, or, I mean, people love
Or
that.
public
I send out
transit.
press releases, I send out press releases for everything, worst case, they don't respond.
Yeah, find some
And then you
media
might end up, next thing
contacts.
you know, they want you on the morning mix or some show that you're like, what? Okay.
It was a slow news day, and they're like, oh, remember, he can help me talk, yeah, we can talk about this. So I think that's a really good thing.
And some of that's free, right? They have,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying,
that'll be
send out
free.
press releases.
Earned media, yeah,
Yeah.
that's all free.
Anytime you got something going on.
Make a contact list and send them out, and make some phone calls, or find somebody who can help you with those types of projects. You could probably pay a small amount of money to have somebody help you with those things on a regular basis. Or a large amount of money, depending on what you're doing.
Chopper has to leave us. Does
I have
anybody
to
have any
leave.
last questions for him? Or
Thanks
just
for
go
lunch.
in, have a beer,
Hey,
and...
thank you.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
You want to say something?
Huh?
And just
Yeah.
plug in,
Ooh,
you guys seen these posters around town or even at Tom's right now?
Oh, those are cool.
We printed these posters and I've got some here.
Those
This
are
is
cool.
raising all money for the flood victims downtown.
So it's going to the community fund.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, 100% of the proceeds, so.
You guys are fine outside and inside as well, so the south end.
Yeah.
We
you
actually,
know,
I shot
Nice
these two,
meeting
but
you. Nice to meet you
I
too,
wish we
Chopper.
could get a couple of these and give
Take care.
Thank you, Chopper. Lunch was
you.
great.
Yeah, it was really
Nice
good.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you
Take
too.
care.
That bread was really
Nice
Good
meeting
talk. Nice winging it.
Yeah.
That's my advertising.
I grabbed my foot out.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you. See you guys. Take care.
Thank you, Maddie.
See ya.
Yeah.
Take care. Nice meeting you.
You're going to talk next time.
Oh, I don't know. She can do it.
Thanks, Chopper.
Show up.
Next week
I
sometime.
was just gonna ask, so how do people contact you to get a ride? Come to
We
the
have an
house
actual
or?
call center.
Yeah, call center.
Yeah, but you go right to their doors, door-to-door service.
Martha, do you do online sales too? Or do you do it all inside?
Okay.
Can you talk just briefly about the online sales?
Sorry, as you
Yeah.
took your bite of food finally.
I do have online sales. It's not huge as
Really?
far as, no,
I
if you
thought
can
it would
believe
be.
that. I've tried to revamp it just a little bit.
It's easy.
It's easy.
No, but I mean, to purchase from your site is very easy.
Right, it is.
And
But
some
the
sites are not.
problem with my business is that everybody wants to try everything on.
Right. Yeah.
And sizes vary. So if you have products that are easy to buy for online, you can. It's not that big of a deal. Like if you just have, if it's not something you gotta try on or you don't wanna feel it or whatever. Like what I really should put on are some of our candles or some of our gifty
Oh.
stuff, because then, you know,
That's
it probably would sell,
I'm just
really
curious
easily.
how you manage that. My mom owned a clothing store when I was growing up in South Haven, and that was really before any of social
That's who
media.
we're sharing our Mayor Exchange Day with this year because they're having their 150th year.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
My hometown. When is that? When's exchange?
Our exchange days are in August. I
Okay.
think we go there on the 2nd,
I don't
and
even
they
know
come
who the
here
mayor
on the
is anymore.
16th or something, but.
Yeah, they have the benefit of the tourism.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
The one you said a moment ago would actually make a very good event. You said come back to the That
Oh.
would make a good event.
That would make a good event, yeah.
It's just talking about
Yep.
online sales.
It would.
You know,
For your theme.
Mm-hmm, right.
Did anyone have any more questions? If I can just briefly run through these with you. So the banners, because we'd like to get them up in April and have them up for all of the sponsors through Thanksgiving. We do need to know it by 2 weeks from like yesterday, whether you want one or not.
These are on the light poles, right?
Yep, they're not the small ones that are on these. They'll be 2 foot by 4 foot ones along Grand River. So they're quite a bit significantly larger. And you can put your logo or your family name or your organization on those. We can divide up the cost of those for you. You tell us how you want to pay.
Discount.
Divide, half and half again, yes. We can divide the cost for you, not give you a discount.
Okay.
I thought 17 to 77 every 2 years.
So, and then they're great. I have one that hung in the Ionia community for 10 months. I've had it in my house and back out in my yard and in my house and back out in my yard for the last 8 years, and it still looks just as good as it did the first day. And they're double-sided, full color. They're a great memento for you.
They're not on paper, they're on
Right.
canvas or something.
Yeah, and then, yes, so that's a memento for you. It belongs to you when we take them down in Thanksgiving week before we put up the Christmas decorations. Just to explain this sheet for you a little bit, the group are packages. So everything in that column belongs in that package. And then the 2 columns on the end are things that you can get for those prices, so individually. And again, we can work with you on a payment plan for anything that you have an interest in participating in. And then finally, we needed to find a way, we don't want to sell all of the logo items that people are going to want. And we want our businesses to make, and our organizations to have the ability to make a profit. So we're doing sponsorships for those items. You select a category of what you want to get produced and sell. We'll give you our logos. And if you want to be exclusive in that category, if you want to be the only person to sell t-shirts, there's a rate for that. Or if you just want to sell t-shirts and you don't care if somebody else sells t-shirts, then there's a lower, lesser rate for that. But there are things like pens and keychains or posters and postcards. And those are not very much at all to sponsor and do that grouping. But the things that sell for a higher price that you make a bigger profit margin on are what are a little more expensive. So, and the only thing that we ask that you don't do are coins or Christmas ornaments. We're reserving those for the city to sell. But the reason that we have all these sponsorships out here is because we have an amazing celebration weekend planned. And 50 years ago in 1969, they spent $29,000 to put on their sesquicentennial, or their centennial celebration here in Portland. The city has budgeted $15,000. The DDA is contributing $15,000 for $30,000. We know it's going to cost us over $75,000 to do all of this for the community, and so we need the sponsorships to make it happen. And if you think about it, in 1969, a brand new luxury vehicle cost you $2,000. Well, you can't buy a brand new luxury vehicle for $6,000 these days. So we've really held down the rate of inflation for sponsorship. But we do need your help, and we'll be happy to make sure that everyone who attends recognizes what a big part of it you were. So that's all I have on there.
Can I make a little pitch?
Yes.
So next week on Tuesday, March 26th, real professionals in the marketing area, unlike from groups of HubSpot and Yext, are doing a webinar at noon. It's free, so you can go to sbam.org/resources/events, or you could email me and I'll send you the link to register if you're interested in attending.
Do you have
My
that as an
card
event on your
is
Facebook page?
It will be, not
Can
as
you-
an event, but it will be
Okay.
promoted, so.
Can you-
I'll send-
yep, and
tag
we'll
you.
send it out.
Okay, yeah, so, or my card is also in here.
Oh, gotcha.
But we'll send it out to,
Okay,
we got a big
yeah, oh,
following,
awesome,
Lots
perfect.
of business.
Okay, so yeah, we're doing that, and we are also shooting a new TV show.
What?
Yeah, it's called Focus on Business. It's airing Sundays in the Lansing market, which,
Nice.
are you guys Grand Rapids market here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. It's available digitally. So I'll get the information to Tina. You can watch it online, but it's Focus on Business. The people coming in from HubSpot and Yext are actually doing 2 shows. I do have a couple seats for a live studio Q&A, a live audience next Tuesday morning as well. If you think you want to come to Lansing and hang out for an hour or so, let me know. They're going to do a panel discussion to tape the TV show and then take audience questions. So that's in the morning, and then the Lunch and Learn is a webinar at noon, but it's all on the website.
And tell us what small businesses like these that you've seen here today get the
From
most
SBAM.
from SBAM.
Right, so we are almost 27,000 members strong across the entire state, and that ranges from like a one-person business up to 500. The majority are much smaller than that, much smaller than that.
I remember when you were like 5,000
I know,
members
we were just
strong.
saying that the other day. So what we do is we offer resources for members. It could be anything from informational resources like articles, webinars, TV shows, but we also have benefits, insurance programs, life and disability, credit card processing, shipping discounts, and those types of things as well. So we're there to be a resource for employee benefits, information, and advocacy. So we have a
Advocacy's huge.
little issue right now with the new proposed small business tax from Governor Whitmer that we are very actively
Just
fighting
fixed
against.
small business tax.
Exactly. Well, we have the right guy on board to help us out. So
Brian Kelly.
yeah, he's our new president. So we're confident we're going to win. Exactly. So anyway, luckily, but that's the kind of thing we do every day is we see what's happening and we fight against it so that you guys don't have to worry about it, hopefully. But
So if you have an opportunity, look into SBAM further and become a member.
there's 4 levels of membership. One's free. So really, you can't afford not to come join SBAM. It's
Is
a
it
free.
according to like how big your business is?
It's not. It's just different levels of benefits that you'll receive at each level. So the lowest
So you
level.
get what you pay for?
Yeah.
So the free one is not.
Our starter membership gives you access to our resources and to a couple of our discount services. Basic opens up more of our insurance programs. Premium adds on to that, and then VIP just gives you even more access to
It's like a
certain
free
things.
app versus a
Yeah.
paid app.
But yeah, you're absolutely come join, get a free membership see what we're all about, and then you can choose to upgrade if you want to. So.
You guys have been fabulous. I
Well,
hope you all have
thank
something
you.
that you're gonna take and
Yeah.
put into action this week.
Well, thanks, Dana. Good
Yeah,
job.
nice job,
Yes,
Dana.
good job. We're kind of prejudiced because we've known her all our life. But yes, it's very valuable, a lot of great tidbits and information, so thank you very much.
And if you have space in your organization or business to add some of these for people to pick up, please take a stack with you.
I have to tell you, I used to work for the Small Business Association. So when you were here, I was like,
You did?
Yeah, they started doing more of the marketing and the insurance. Well, no, not for the insurance. Because my best friend worked there, and so did her mother too. So Jane Archer was the.
No way.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, and then Michelle Beebe was the insurance.
Okay, and now she works for Broughton Heights.
Yes.
And well, TGG, and we partner with them. So did you know Ann Parker? Was she there when you were there? She would have been in HR. Well, she started in government relations. That was